Welcome to BOJTV's Trending News. For top stories in local, regional and international news, along with sports and local weather forecast, I'm Carla. Coming up on local trending news. Mobay bypass expected to usher in new era of development. Prime suspect held in a murder of a St. Thomas woman linked to another murder in Hanover. Westmoreland man held with 50 pounds of ganja at security checkpoint in Mount Pelly, St. James. And ministry officials allowed to use credit cards, says Dr. McLean. Now the details. Chairman of the Tourism Enhancement Fund TEF, Godfrey Dyer, says construction of the Montego Bay Perimeter Road, the bypass, will usher in a new frontier of economic development for the second city and the wider western Jamaica. He said that the project will open opportunities to achieve a further growth in tourism and other sectors. The growth at Montego Bay and by extension western Jamaica has been experiencing over the past few years is really just the tip of the iceberg. He was speaking at the launch of the Montego Bay Chamber of Commerce and Industry, the MBCCI Expo 2019 at the S Hotel on Jimmy Cliff Boulevard yesterday. Work on the bypass is expected to commence this fiscal year with a $500 million allocation. The project aims to create a safe and reliable alternative route for motorists traveling within and across Montego Bay, resulting in reduced traffic congestion while opening up new lands to facilitate a structured development. The Ministry of Finance and Public Services is to structure a payment plan for members of the Integrity Commission. The Integrity Commission is set up to promote and enhance standard of ethical conduct for parliamentarians and public officials. The Commission is an overbreak of the Office of the Contractor General and the Commission for Prevention of Corruption. Minister without portfolio with responsibility for information, Carl Simuda, confirmed the move by saying the decision to pay the Integrity Commission members follows cabinet approval. St. Thomas police have confirmed that a man who was taken into custody in connection with the murder of a 21-year-old Bina Bertram, the female who was found dead after being reported missing since Sunday, July 14, is also linked to another murder committed in the parish of Hanover early this year. The accused, whose identity is being withheld by the police, is said to have been transported to Hanover at the start of the week to be questioned by detectives. Bertram's decomposing body was discovered at a river in Nuts River district in Clarendon, with their hands bound and partially naked. Residents reported seeing the female in the company of the accused hours before she went missing. Her mother also received a telephone call from a man who is believed to be the same male suspect, informing her that Bertram destroyed his television and he wanted a payment of $50,000. A Westmoreland man was arrested and charged in connection with the seizure of 50 pounds of ganja at a security checkpoint in Mount Pelly, St. James on Tuesday night. Facing charges of dealing in ganja and possession of ganja is Kevin Anthony Gooden, otherwise called Cow Teeth, 46 years old, Tyler of Lennox Bigwood in Darliston, Westmoreland. Reports are that about 8:30 p.m., members of the Jamaica Defence Force and the Jamaica Constabulary Force were carrying out routine checks at the checkpoint in Mount Pelly when a Toyota Corolla motor car being driven by Gooden from the direction of Westmoreland towards Montego Bay was searched. The trunk of the car was found to contain several plastic bags containing ganja, weighing approximately 50 pounds. Dr. Grace McLean, a permanent secretary in the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information, said yesterday that ministry officials are allowed by the Ministry of Finance and Public Service to use credit cards. Dr. McLean told journalists at yesterday's post-cabinet press briefing at Jamaica House that a card is approved for the minister with a monitoring system that requires that once it is used and the bills are submitted by the minister, there is a reconciliation with the bills provided by the bank and they are checked by the principal financial officer. She said that the principal financial officer ensures that the limit on the card is not exceeded. A credit card, she explained, was also available for use by the minister, as well as permanent secretaries, heads of department, chief executive officers of executive agencies and public bodies for official payments. The required reconciliation is done before approval for payments by the principal financial officer. Dr. McLean said that the rules were included in Circular Number 11, which was issued in September 2009, and that approval for the card obtained by Royal Reed was granted on September 29, 2016 by the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service. Jamaica is to celebrate the centenary of Louise Bennett Covell, Miss Lou, over a period of 100 days, with special activities across the country. These will be organised by various agencies, including the National Library of Jamaica, Jamaica Cultural Development Commission JCDC, and the Bureau of Gender Affairs. This was disclosed by Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport Olivia Granger during her contribution to the 2019-2020 sectorial debate in the House of Representatives on Wednesday. This year, on September 7, we will celebrate the centenary of our beloved Miss Lou. She will be celebrated as a social commentator, poet and advocate, and in particular as chief exponent and proponent of the Jamaican language, Ms. Granger said. She also noted that in a tribute to Miss Lou, the minister has engaged the University of the West Indies to use a celebration of her life as a catalyst for the national dialogue on the status of Jamaican patois. This will have implications for how patois is positioned in social and official discourse, Granger said. Additionally, the minister announced that March 21 is to be celebrated each year as National Poetry Day. Those were your top stories making local trending news. Now join us for news from across the region as well as our international story, sports and local weather forecast. From across the region. Specialists in Cuba who have been treating President David Granger since he was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin lymphoma last year say they are satisfied with the results in his recovery process. Granger, who travelled to Cuba last Saturday for medical evaluation, returned to Ghana Tuesday evening. A statement issued by Guyana's ambassador to Cuba, Halim Majid, shortly after he arrived home, said the president's team of medical specialists undertook 4 investigations and have found nothing negative about his present state of health. In keeping with the protocol associated with the treatment and monitoring of this type of medical condition, the specialists have proposed that he returns to Cuba after 90 days for another round of evaluation. In international news, breast implant maker Allergan has issued a worldwide recall of its textured biocell models, which have been linked to a rare form of cancer, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration FDA said Wednesday. The recall came at the FDA's request and means that the implants can no longer be sold and that doctors who stock them are supposed to return them. The regulatory agency did not ban the devices altogether, as authorities have done in France and Canada. It also stopped short of recommending that women who have the implants get them removed. The risk of surgery is considered to be greater than the relatively low risk of developing anaplastic large cell lymphoma, a type of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Starting in 2011, health authorities in several countries noticed that certain implants were associated with an increase in incidence of anaplastic large cell lymphoma, or ALCL. The disease causes swelling and accumulation of fluid around the implant. Over in our sporting report, fresh on the heels of their inaugural World Cup experience, the Reggae Girls will be making another international debut, this time at the Pan American Games in Lima, Peru. The Games kicks off tomorrow. Despite not registering a win during their historic appearance in France, the Reggae Girls were the toast of World Cup and will be banking on the euphoria of that experience to help propel them further in Lima. They have been drawn in a tough group with the regional kingpins Mexico, Paraguay and Colombia, and will begin against Mexico on Sunday. They will then face Colombia next Wednesday, July 31, before finishing the first round against Paraguay on Saturday, August 3. On your local weather forecast, insignificant feature, a high-pressure ridge across Jamaica. The high-pressure ridge is expected to remain across Jamaica until Friday, when a tropical wave moves across the island. The forecast for this morning will see partly cloudy skies across sections of northern parishes. During this afternoon, isolated showers across central and western parishes. Windy across southern parishes. Tonight becoming fair. Maximum temperature expected for Kingston as well as Montego Bay today is 33 degrees Celsius. That was BOJTV's trending news, your top local, regional and international stories, as well as a sports report and weather forecast. Until next time, I'm Carla. Thanks for watching.